In today's episode, Always the Student, embracing continuous learning as a founder.
Hello, I'm Randy Gerber. Welcome to the Founder Ride. Another episode, and today we're going to talk about continuous learning. Um, and before we start, where am I on the ride? Today, I am in the accelerating stage. We spent the last couple of years really focused on infrastructure and developing our infrastructure, and 2025 is really all about executing on that, and so we really see that working now. So we're in the accelerating stage and happy to be here. Today, we're going to talk about continuous learning. Continuous learning as a generalization, I think, is really important. It always is. I think as a, maybe a broad statement, but for America and American citizens, it's important. But I think really as an entrepreneur, and specifically if you're a first-generation entrepreneur, continuous learning is really important for you in 2025 and beyond. I was recently at a conference where there was lots of scientific evidence how innovation and learning in America has been a pretty linear path for the better part of 100 years. And there's lots of history to show why that is. And the belief is now we entered a few years ago into exponential learning. And we're starting in exponential learning, your J curve is much more accelerated. And I think the combination of the internet and technology in general certainly accelerated that. What's happening with artificial intelligence is even accelerating that much more, where the learning is definitely becoming more exponential. You will likely see AI tools now used in schools for tutoring of some sort. And so the ability to learn is going to change. Number one, it's going to accelerate. The amount you can learn will be much more vast. So we're in this dynamic where we're living in an exponential business world. I don't want to spend much time on it today, but quantum computing is around the corner. You're going to hear more and more about this in the next 5 years. And as that becomes mainstream, and it's going to become mainstream, Google, Meta, JP Morgan Chase, universities are investing heavily in quantum computing. And as that becomes more mainstream, you'll see yet more exponential learning, and candidly, this exponential business. Business is going to move as faster than it ever has before. And ironically, as human beings, our brains are able to handle this. It's not what we're used to, that's for sure. It's not how we were taught to learn in school, not how we were raised by our parents. But we definitely have the capacity to do it. And I think fundamentally, foundationally, as an entrepreneur, you have to make an investment in continuous learning, not just for you, but your entire organization, because the pace of business is simply going to demand it. There are other competitors out there that will engage in continuous learning and do it very, very well, and put that much more pressure on your business. We're living in a time right now where the dynamic we're in is that while the very moment, if you don't engage in continuous learning and don't engage in the use of artificial intelligence, it's not going to harm you today, but you're going to start becoming less relevant in 12 months, 18 months, certainly 24, because your competitors are investing heavily in artificial intelligence and are investing heavily. And to do that, you have to invest in continuous learning. There's no choice. And this is something that I do feel strongly about, that it should become a process in your business and part of the culture in your business to continuously learn. I also think, candidly, raising your children, your friends, you're going to see more and more of your friends who will engage in continuous learning, and your kids are going to have to learn that habit too, as well, because the world is changing that quickly. I know this is a new topic for us in general, and it is timely with what's happening in innovation in this country. We too are really trying to figure out how to implement a program around this and make it part of our culture. We're definitely experimenting, and we'll continue to experiment and continue to engage with how to use artificial intelligence in our business. So feel free to call and ask questions. We may not have answers. We will have experiences. And if you have feedback on this topic, we'd love to hear that as well too. Thank you, and enjoy your day.